Hi guys, this is Sri. So after 2 weeks, I'm coming with a video. So today I'm going to explain about this topic. This is various way to configure the MySQL variables. Okay. I mean, what are the different ways you have to configure the MySQL parameters the server? Okay. So actually, I defined here. So these are the different types. You can use the set session, set global, and the my.cnf file, and you can also use the init file, and you can also configure the options during the startup using the mysqld, and this is the recent one, set persist. Okay. So we will go through about the session, demo session, but before that, I just wanted to give some overview on this. Okay. So set session means we have a lot of variables in the MySQL. So all the various variables are not supported for the set session, and all the variables are not supported for the set global. Okay. So we have variables have the different scope. So which those variables which are not supported for the set global, then you need to add them in the my.cnf. Then you need to actually restart the MySQL server. Okay, those some of the variables require the MySQL restart. So for those variables, you cannot set in the global. It will give the error like read only variable. Okay, so you need to add in the my.cnf file. Then you need to restart. And init-file, you can add the command. Actually, you can add the SQL commands there, and you need to restart the MySQL. So when that time, it will execute the command and it will initialize the variable. I will show you in the demo how to do that. And this is also mostly we are doing the SQL command. So mostly we can tell that whatever variables we can configure with the set global, those variables only we can configure using this init file. Okay. And the MySQL you can add any variable during the startup. You need to add as the option. Then it will be initialized. Okay, I will show that. And set persist also, whatever variables you can configure using the set global, those variables are supported in the set persist. But we have the difference between the set global and the set persist. I will show that. Okay, actually the set persist will create the my.cnf and it will make the entry or the changes in the my.cnf. Actually, that's the mysqld auto.cnf. I will show the demo on that. Okay, so let's go to the, as I told, all the variables don't have the scope. I mean, some variables only have the session scope, some variables have the global scope. So how to identify that? How to identify, okay, this variable have the session scope, this variable have the global scope, how to identify that? You can get that idea from the MySQL documentation itself. For example, um let's come from first here. Yeah. So here, this is the bind address. Okay. So the bind address means you need the MySQL restart. You cannot do using the set global or set session. This variable will not work. Okay. So you can see the scope here. It is global, but it is dynamic or dynamic yes or no. If you see the no, then this is not a dynamic variable. This is a static variable. So in this case, this variable need the MySQL restart. Okay. If you come to the next one, the max connection, here you can see the dynamic is yes. Okay, and this have the global scope and the dynamic is yes. So this is the dynamic variable. So you can set it on the global using the set global command. But if you see the dynamic equal to no, or in that case, that is the static variable which need the MySQL restart. Okay. And how to identify the session variables? Okay, that is the next question. For example, if you see this variable joint buffer size, here is you can see the scope, the global and the session. Okay, so this variable have the global scope and the session scope as well, and this is also the dynamic one. Okay, so in this case, you can set it on the session level and you can set it on the global level, and this is also the dynamic variable. So if this is dynamic variable, also you can add in the my.cnf and you can restart. It will take a file. Just you just came to know. Okay, this is we can set using the global, set global, and the session. Okay, now let's go to the session, demo session one by one. So the first one is the set session. So here you can use different commands like set local, just set variable, and also set session and variable name. Okay, so for example, so what session variable means, whatever you are doing the configuration, it will only impact the your session, your current session only. It will not impact the other sessions. I will show that. I will show that. Okay. So for example, join buffer size. So I am checking this is the current join buffer size configuration. I am just changing this variable in session level. Okay. Set session join buffer size equal to, I am just making it 2 MB. Okay, I'm just making this here 2 MB. I just see that I use the set session. Okay. After that, I am checking the join buffer size. Now it is changed from this to this. Okay, now I am going to create the, I am going to do another login. MySQL. Here I am going to check the join buffer size variable. Okay, select attach join buffer size. Here you can see the older value only. Okay, so what I am coming to say is, whenever you are using the set session, it will impact only the current session. Okay, it will not impact the other sessions. Okay, other sessions you will have the same value only, whatever you have before. Okay, so the new will be, I mean, using the set session, that new value is this one. It is not here. You can compare actually this one. Okay, so in the this is something I want to show you. Okay, so the session variable means whatever you are setting using the set session, it will be impact only the current session. It will not impact the other session. Okay, so for example, if you want to execute some write statement, if you want to execute some insert or delete or update, whatever, if you want, if you don't want to impact the, you don't want to write in the bin log the insert statement, though you don't want to write in the bin log, then you can disable the binary logging in session level. Then you can make it actually. Okay, then it will not be written in the binary log. This is some of the use cases I am telling. Okay, so this is about the session variable. The next one is the set global. So the set global means whatever you are making the changes, it will impact all the sessions. Okay. For example, here I'm checking the current select. Let me reconnect it. I'm just reconnecting. Okay, I'm checking the select at max connection value. This is 500 right now. Okay. So I'm just going to make it a different value using the set global max connections equal to 400. I'm just making it to 400, and here I am checking select. I'm checking in the other session select max connections. It is 400. Okay, so whatever value you are setting using the set global command, it will impact all the sessions. Okay, it will impact all the sessions. And also here the one thing you need to notice, uh, setting global will impact all the sessions, but whenever the MySQL restart happens, the value will be rolled back to default one. Okay, otherwise whatever you have configured in the my.cnf, that value will be rolled back. Okay, for example, if you have the max connection, currently you have the max connection 400, but inside the my.cnf you have 500 max connections equal to 500. Okay, So in this case, if the restart happens, see your current max connection value is 400, but in the my.cnf, you have the max connection value 500. Okay. So in this case, if the MySQL restart happens, your value will be roll back from 400 to 500. Okay. If you don't have the max connection 500 in the my.cnf, then it will be rolled back to the default one. That is a 151. It will be rolled back to default one. Okay. Now let's check the max connection value. Select active max connections. Okay. So see, this is the 500. This value is picked up from the my.cnf. Okay. So this is about the set global. So here you need to remember that whenever you are changing the parameter value using the set global, it will impact all the sessions. But whenever the restart happens, it will be rolled back. So it is always recommended to make the changes in the my.cnf as well, so that whenever the restart happens, it will pick the value from the my.cnf and it will be applied. Okay. And again, if you don't have the value in the my.cnf and you just make the changes in the using the set global, when the restart happens, it will be rolled back to the default value. Okay. For example, if you don't have the max connection in the my.cnf, okay, let me show that as well. I just removing the max connection from the my.cnf and just restarting. So if I check the max connection now, it comes to 151. Okay, because we removed the value from the my.cnf. So whenever we have, if we don't have in the my.cnf, that value will be rolled back to the default one. The max connections default value is 151, so it is rolled back to the 151. Okay, so this is about the set global, and yeah, it will change when restart happens. So make sure to have the same value in my.cnf as well. Okay, and it will impact all the user sessions. Okay, so this is about the set global, and the next one is the my.cnf. My.cnf means whatever changes you are making in the my.cnf, it needs the MySQL restart, so that the value will get applied. For example, I want to change my MySQL port. Okay, I want to change my MySQL port. My current port is selected port. It is 3306 is my current port. I am just trying to change the port, set global port equal to 3307. From 3306 to I am trying to change to 3307. When I execute this, I will get this error. Variable port is a read-only variable. So whenever you are getting this error, when trying to make the change in the set global using the set global, if you get this error, then you cannot do it using the set global. Okay, you need the MySQL restart. For example, MySQL my.cnf vi. We don't have the port here. Let me add it. Port equal to 3307. And I'm just doing the restart. Okay. So now I am checking the port again. It is 3307. It is changed. Okay. So whatever changes you are making, so whatever variables you cannot do using the set global command, you cannot change in the runtime. Then you need to go with the my.cnf file. So whenever you are updating the my.cnf, then you need to restart your MySQL service. Then only during the initialization, the value will be picked up from the my.cnf file and it will be applied. Okay, so this is about the my.cnf. And inside the my.cnf, you have the different groups. Okay, For example, um, um, see, here you see the MySQL D group, and you have the client group within the double bracket, square bracket. If you have MySQL, then it will impact only the client user session. Okay, and you have the different groups: extra backup, MySQL dump, SSL. You have different groups. You can configure those variables under the groups. Okay, I will explain. I will make a different video or to explain the my.cnf structure. Okay, so but now just keep in mind that for the read-only variables which are not able to change using the set global command, those variables you need to put inside the my.cnf. Then you need to restart so that the value will be picked up. Okay, just keep that in mind right now. I will try to make a video by explaining the my.cnf structure. Okay, the next option is the init-file. For this init-file also we are going to use the my.cnf only, but this is something different. Okay, same as my.cnf. We are going to use the my.cnf only, but let me explain you. So currently our max connection value is 151. Okay. So what I need to change it. This is something we can change it in the global, but I am just explaining using the init file. That's okay. I just wanted to change it to 500. Okay. So in this case, I am going to create one file, varlib mysql shoot mysql init. Whatever name you can give, I just given like this shoot underscore mysql underscore init. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do, set global max connections equal to 500. Okay, so see, this is simply you can execute this SQL in the my.cnf and it will change the max connection value. Okay, you don't need to go to the init file to change the max connection value. You can simply execute in the MySQL client, then it will be picked up. But just I am showing the example here. You can also have this option. You can also using this. There is, I mean, this option also available to just the information perspective. Okay, the main purpose why we are using the unit file means if you forgot your root password and if you want to update your root password, then you can create the alter statement here, like alter user root at localhost identify by password, whatever. You can create the alter statement here and you can restart the MySQL. Then this SQL, this password changing alter statement will be executed during the MySQL startup and it will update the password. Okay, so in that case, if you forget the password, you can create, you can modify with the new password using this alter statement. Then you can use that new password for the login. That is the main purpose of this, but I'm just also telling as an example. Okay, so whatever SQL statements are available here, that will be executed during the initialization. That is the main concept of the init file. Okay, whatever SQLs are available in this file, that will be those SQLs will be executed during the MySQL startup. That is the point of the init file. Okay, so now I am just going to show the example for changing this variable. Okay, I just make this set global max times 500. Okay, so what I need to do next, I'm just copying this entire file. Then I need to again open the my.cnf file. It is the MySQL my.cnf. Here only I need to mention like init file equal to, I need to provide the full path with the file name. Okay, here I provided. Okay, now I am just saving this file and I am going to restart. the MySQL service. Yeah, I restarted. Now I am going to check the max connection. Actually, before it was 151. Select at max connections. See, now it is changed to 500. Okay. Why? Because we have the init file. See, this is our init file. There we have the command set global max connection equal to 500. So, and we also added that init file option in the my.cnf, and when we restarted the MySQL service, it read the my.cnf and it found the init file option and it found the file and it executed the set global max connection equal to 500 command during the startup internally. Okay, so this is also one of the options by using the init file to changing the variable. Okay, now the next one is using the mysqld. Here you can make the variable as the option. Let me show service first MySQL, select at that log error. Okay, so this is my error log location. It is under where log MySQL error log. Okay, I'm just going to change to where lib MySQL and with different name. Let me show you. Service MySQL stop. I'm just stopping the MySQL service. Okay. Now I'm going to manually start the MySQL using the daemon, MySQL daemon, MySQL daemon hyphen user equal to MySQL, because I am currently in the root user or in OS level. So if I did not mention this user equal to MySQL, then it will be started as using the root user. Okay, so I just mentioned user equal to MySQL, and also hyphen log error equal to where lib MySQL tree tut.err. Okay, so I am changing from where log MySQL error log to where lib MySQL. The error log name is tree underscore tut dot error. Okay, and I'm also adding the ampersand symbol to run the script in the background. Okay, so if you use this ampersand, then it will the command will be run in the background. Okay, so let me start it. I'm just checking the command is running or not. Here you can see it is running. Here you can see this is the error log directory. Okay, now let's check. Select at that log error. See, our error log directory is updated to where lib MySQL tree underscore tut dot error. Now let's check the error log. Here you can see the logs as well. Okay, so this is we are just passing the variable as an option to MySQL. Okay, this is the option. Okay, we are just passing the variable as an option during the, and we are starting the MySQL. Then it is picked up. This is also one of the way you can configure the variable. Okay. Then set persist. Okay, set persist is the recent one from MySQL 8. So here, as I told, this set persist will work similar like the set global. Whatever variables are supported for the set global, they will be supported in the set persist as well. So here you have the other option, persist only. Okay, there is one more option, persist only, and it will create a mysqld auto.cnf. Okay, so it will keep the changes during after the restart as well. Okay, so when you are using the set global, I saw the example. Whatever changes you are making, they will be rolled back. Otherwise, the new value will be picked up from the my.cnf whenever the MySQL restart happens, right? So here, what happens if you are using the set persist means, let me show the example. Yeah, select at that max connections 500. Okay, now I am going to make the change from the max connection from 500 to 400 using the persist. Set persist, set persist, max connections equal to 400. Okay, I just executed this set persist max connection equal to 400, and I am checking the max connection value, max underscore connections. It is 400. I am also checking from the other session. This is 400. Okay, this is similar like the set global, but the difference is it will create the config file. The config file name is mysqld hyphen auto.cnf. It will create this config file under the MySQL data directory. Okay, if you open this file, okay, MySQL if you open this file, you can see the JSON outputs like this. Version 1, the MySQL server. For this field, you have the value max connection, value 400, and this is the material like which timestamp it is executed, and this is the user from which user it is executed, and this is the host. What is the host of the user who executed? Okay, so it will create the MySQL whenever you are using set persist, it will create the MySQL hyphen auto.cnf under the MySQL data directory, and it will write the changes in the using the JSON format. It will write the changes. Okay, here you can see the variable is max connection and the value is 400. So whenever the MySQL restart happens, it will pick up the value from the MySQL hyphen auto.cnf, and your value will not be rolled back. Now I am doing the restart. Okay, I'm just doing the MySQL restart. Long time. Okay, I started the MySQL in the MySQL daemon. Second. Yeah. Okay. So the MySQL restart is happens. It is the you can see the uptime 6 seconds. Let me check the max connection value now. Like at that max connections, you can. It is 500. Let me check it. Okay, value is 400. Maybe we have in my.cnf. We have the init-file configuration in the my.cnf. Let me edit it. Okay, I just commanded it. Because that inside the init file, we had the command, right? Set global max connection equal to 500. So that is the taken. It override the MySQL hyphen auto.cnf. Okay, so that is what we had the 500. Let me restart now again. Okay, the restart happens. I'm checking the max connection again. Now it is 400. Okay, the value is picked up from the MySQL auto.cnf. Here we have the value 400. this value is picked up. Okay. Now, you have the one more option, which is the set persist. The persist only. Okay. So let me explain that as well. Set global, sorry, set persist only max connections equal to 700. I'm just making the max connections equal to 700 using the set persist only. Okay, instead of set persist, I am using the set persist only here. I'm just reconnecting and I am checking the max connection value. It is still 400 only. Okay, it is not 700 because we made set persist only max connections equal to 700. But after the query executed, we are checking the max connection value. This is not changed. This still have the old value. Okay, then what is set persist only? Persist only means it will just persist the value in the MySQL d auto.cnf. If you check the value in the CNF, now it is 700 from the 400. Okay, but it will not apply the changes in the runtime. That is what you are seeing the 400 here. But the value is just written in the config file, MySQL d-auto.cnf. Okay, so whenever MySQL restart happens, the new value, this value will be picked up from the MySQL d-auto.cnf. Now I just restarted the MySQL service. Now you can see the value, max connection equal to 700. So if you want to make some changes, but that need to be applied after the restart, so in that kind of scenario, you can consider to use the set persist only option instead of persist. Okay. Still, we have some. We need to see more about using in the persist how to remove the value from the my.cnf, and we have also the tables for this persist. Later I will explain with the new video, okay, about the persist configuration. So this is something, the overview. This video is explain what are the different options you have to configure the MySQL variables. So as I explained that we have the session level, global level, my.cnf, and you can do with the init file, and you can add the options in the MySQL D during the startup, and you can also use the set persist and also the persist only. Okay, using the MySQL documentation, you can get to know about the scope, variable scope, as I explained earlier. Okay, so yeah, hopefully this video is helpful to understand the different ways to configure the MySQL parameters. If you like this video, just share with your friends also who is learning the MySQL. Hopefully this will helpful for them. And if you did not subscribe my channel, please do subscribe. And I will be come up with the next video soon. Thank you.